Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick guide for general Halo 3 butterflies and like how to do them, like easy ways to do it, like habits to build. And then I'm also gonna be doing a direct guide for the Covenant butterfly. Skip to these timestamps if you want to ignore my blabbering and get straight to the butterflying tutorial, and then you can skip to the other timestamp if you want to go straight into the Covenant one. I do say will say starting out, and until you have a pretty solid time without the butterfly, at least on easy, I don't recommend doing the butterfly at all on the Covenant, at least until you very least have Crow's Nest butterfly down. Um, and then also, you really don't need to have. You should have a better time, like a pretty good time without it with beforehand, just because it's good habits to build and all that jazz. Without further ado, I'm gonna first do a general butterflying guide, and I'm gonna do this in Crow's Nest. Okay, so for the butterflying in general segment of this tutorial, you're gonna your basically only method of practice is this area. I'll just show it real quick. You're gonna be practicing on these flying drones, which is a time save in the run if you can hit them. If you hit the butterfly properly, you can basically float on them, and it's also just a great place to get your butterfly rhythm down. So obviously you're gonna shoot here because unlike Halo 2, you can't just cancel your reload. You can't just make a reload, and then you're just gonna. So basically, to describe the butterflying in Halo 3, is you're basically melee reloading and then using your melee to cancel it. So like that's how it looks slowly. I have a hand cam on with a very low refresh rate, so I wonder how this is gonna be helpful. But in order to do it properly, like fast, it's not a spam inputs thing, because then you might accidentally drop an input just because of the game's tick rate, or you just maybe missed a button. Like that's just not reliable. You can maybe get good at it going fast like that, but it's just not how you're gonna do it. So basically what you're gonna do instead is kind of, once you understand that it's basically reload and then melee, or like melee and reload, I guess, you kind of just learn to get into a rhythm where you're like, if tapping melee and then reload right after it in like a rhythm, but you don't immediately melee again. And so you're basically just rolling your fingers between the two inputs, like so. And it basically cancels the inputs after each other. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all it is. So when you're doing it here, you're just gonna wait for them to move. They sometimes halt, and then you just kind of ride them. That's pretty much all butterflying is, or like melee canceling, or whatever you want to call it, is in Halo 3. It's pretty easy. It's just a little bit confusing to get down, and I often will see new runners trying to basically spam their inputs and not get anywhere, because yeah, it might work for a little bit, but like this is how, like I made a little far, like that's where you started over there, but that's just not reliable. So you just want to get a like a rhythm of rolling your fingers between the two inputs, just like that. Like I messed it up there, but it had nothing to do with it. Okay, let me do that again, just because I'm not about to let myself do that in a fucking tutorial. Okay, that was a little slow, but that was just because I aimed for one of the back ones, but you get the idea. I was able to hold a butterfly just by keeping a rhythm. And so that's like one of the harder parts to figure out with the butterfly on Covenant, which is what we're going to get to now. Okay, here I recommend making a practice checkpoint. So just force a checkpoint and then dump the checkpoint and then call it and just have that set so you have a safe spot to start it. Again, make sure that it's shot at least once, and then skip the cutscene. And this is where it gets a little complicated, because there are 3 types of flood and all 3 of them have timing methods, different timings to them. I'm only gonna show off one, but here it's because it's a timing that you kind of have to figure out yourself. But in short terms, the human flood is like almost immediate timing. The elite flood is a little bit delayed timing, and then the brute flood is very delayed timing in terms of when you're jumping after in the certain pattern. So I'm actually gonna go back. I'm gonna show you the basically what you're doing without the flood, and then I'll show you what you're doing with the flood. So basically, there's gonna be a bunch of flood forms that are gonna spawn over here. You're gonna get at least one of their attention. Try to kill anything else that's behind them, and you're gonna lure them over here. And they're gonna swing at you like right here, like swing at you when they're swinging at you close enough to you. You're gonna try jumping past this shadow up here, turn around and jump, and then do the butterfly that I showed. So let's try doing that in real time. So yeah, they're gonna, for some reason they all spawn back there in this specific checkpoint, but luckily for me, they also infect these guys too, so I'm just gonna do that. And so, oh, there's 2. And so you're gonna get him over here, you're gonna swing, and then jump. And that's pretty much it. And so you basically just delay your jump as much as you need to. And then you're just gonna jump down here. You'd usually have a hammer here. I just skipped to the checkpoint. And then I'm not gonna show the rest, like the DC launch or anything, because this isn't exactly a DC launching guide, and there's a bunch of different setups. This is not the guide for that. That's straight up like you need to learn how to DC launch for that. But I guess I can show it off again. Okay. So for the in execution version, I got unlucky. All of the flood spawned over here, but it gives me some time to explain it. And I can also just kill some flood. So you're gonna lure him over here. Okay, he's AI is doing funny shit. Where'd he go? Alright, oh there you are. Okay, you're gonna lure him over here. Have him swing, delay your jump a little bit, jump. Ah, please, please! And then you're just gonna butterfly out, and that pushes you through the elastic barrier. You just have to be able to maintain your butterfly long enough through the elastic barrier, and that's pretty much the entire trick. Again, you're gonna want to have butterflying done very well, and that's the best place to practice your butterflying is in Crow's Nest. But yeah, if you have any questions, just leave a comment or DM me on Discord, I guess. Hopefully the hand cam helped. Hopefully I explained things properly. There are probably better people to make this guide, I'm gonna be honest, but